Yeah, guys. So today's session we are talking about something called functions in SQL Server. Okay. So already we have seen something called functions in SQL Server earlier. We discussed something called built-in functions, right? Built-in functions means like aggregate functions, rank functions, datetime functions, string or text functions. Okay, these are all said to be what? Predefined functions. But today what we are talking about are called as user-defined functions, which are also called as UDFs. Okay, so let's get started. So we are talking about what are functions and different types of functions. As I told you, system functions or built-in functions. Okay, and then UDFs, nothing but user defined functions. Again, in UDFs we have different types like scalar functions. Scalar means the function which returns a single value. Table valued functions means the functions which are displaying returning a table completely. Table means multiple rows will be returned. Again, in that we have inline table valued functions and multi statement table valued functions. Like that we'll discuss one by. So what are functions? A function in SQL Server is a reusable block of SQL code which returns which returns a value from a calculation. Whatever calculation you are doing, it will perform a calculation. For example, I wanted to calculate simple interest or something like a area of a circle I wanted to calculate. So in that case, you can make a use of a function. So we are creating a function. Of course, you can call predefined functions which are available. For example, if you want to calculate what you call square root, we can write our own function which is said to be user defined function, or you can utilize which is already there, like sqrt function is there in SQL Server, that you can call directly. So if you have any function which is already there, we need not create our own function, guys. But sometimes there is a necessity to create our own function, customized functions we need to create. In that case, you have to learn how to create a function in a SQL Server, guys. Okay. So how do we call a function? Okay. So how do we call a function, guys? Like in predefined functions we have already, right? As I told you, aggregate functions like sum, average, min, max, count. Okay, these are all said to be what? Predefined functions. Aggregate functions, whatever type of functions can be mathematical or any type of function, text function or string function or whatever. But all the functions are returning a single value. So how do we call them? We have to use select statement, right? Select sum of salary from employee, like that we need to write. So select statement is mandatory while calling any function. It might be a predefined function or it might be a user defined function, guys. Okay. So that is what we are going to discuss while practicing, while creating. Unlike stored procedures, functions must return a value. So last session we have seen stored procedure, right? So what is stored procedure? It is a collection of statements which performs a specific calculation. It will execute a logic, business logic will be executed, but there is no rule that it has to return a value. But coming to functions, you must return a value. Okay. Yeah. So that is what we are going to see now. Difference between stored procedure. The major difference between stored procedure and function is function must return a value. It can be scalar or table. Scalar means single value it may return, or it may return a table completely. Table means set of rows. But when it comes to stored procedure, there is no mandatory. I mean, it will never return a value until unless you specify explicitly output type parameter, then only it will return a value. So by default, no stored procedure will return a value, but every function must return a value. Okay, so that is what the difference between the major difference, guys. We have other differences also. The major difference between a function and stored procedure is this. So what are the key points about functions? Okay, Yeah. So the first thing is function must return a value, as I said you just now. Okay. A function must return a value. Can be single value or a number of rows. Single value means scalar, multiple rows means table. Functions cannot perform DML operations. So we have seen something like our stored procedures to do DML operations, right? Insert, update, delete. Yesterday we have seen with the examples. I gave you some tasks to do, insert, I think I have told you, and update also I told you. I asked you to do delete and others, right? So it functions are not meant for DML operations. That is the important point you need to remember. And functions can be used inside the queries. As I said, you select statement should be used, or you can use where clause or join clause or something like that. Okay, that's the important thing that you need to remember. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. So the next thing is good for reusable calculations and data transformation. So when you are doing reusable calculations, as I said, if you want to do calculation again and again, reusability of the code, we go for creating a function. Okay. So we know how to create a function in C sharp, right? Like in C sharp, we write something like public, okay, void or any other return type, void, integer, or we specify return type, first access modifier, then function name. Okay, so we pass parameters. Okay, finally if you have non-void function, any function with the non-void means integer or string or anything, we use return keyword. But here you have to use return keyword because every function must return a value. That's the point you need to remember. Okay, yeah. Next. So what are the different types of functions we have in SQL Server? The first thing is system functions or predefined functions or built-in functions. Second one is UDFs, user-defined functions. Okay. Yeah. So these are the system functions or predefined functions, what we have seen already. Excuse me. String functions, date
Hello, sir.
functions.
Mic off. Just
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it okay now? Yeah. So these are the
okay.
different types of functions, guys. Like system functions or predefined functions, nothing but predefined functions, like built-in functions, like I told you different types of functions, right? Like date functions, rank functions, mathematical functions, or uh, we have string functions or text functions, window functions. They're also to be predefined functions. Okay, user defined means we need to create. Yeah. So we'll go to the next now. So these are the predefined functions what we know already. String functions like len, substring, upper, lower, replace. Date functions, get data, date add, date difference, format. I think we have seen all of them. Aggregate functions, sum, average, min, max, count, right? They're also to be system functions. Now we are talking about something called user defined functions. Okay. So what are user defined functions? Created by users. Users means developers. You and me can create our own function apart from the available functions which are given in a SQL Server. Okay. So for custom logic, you are writing your own logic. You can customize it. That is the advantage of creating UDFs, user defined functions. Why are we creating? Because you can write your own logic and you can utilize it in your T-SQL programming. Okay. So there are different types of UDFs, three types like scalar functions, inline table valued functions, and multi-statement table valued functions. Very simple, guys. Scalar means it returns a single value, one value. Just like as I said, if you give a radius of circle, it will give you area of circle. Just simple single value. Okay, coming to inline table valued functions means it returns a table from a single select query. You will write a select query inside the function, use the defined function that will return as table. Table means multiple rows, guys. Simple. Multiple rows it will return. There is no rule that it has to return the complete rows from the table. You may get only few rows according to your condition, whatever you have passed you have written in your function, only those set of rows will be displayed. And the second one is multi-statement table valued. Third one, multi-statement table valued functions means you are writing multiple select statements, multiple statements. From those multiple statements, if you are returning a table or multiple rows, means that is called as MVTF, multiple or multi-statement table valued function. Okay, we'll see one example on each and every function type. Let us see the first example. Here we go. How to calculate bonus for an employee? Depends upon the salary that I'm passing. Okay, so first we are creating a function called get bonus. How to create a function? SQL Server syntax is very easy, guys. Create function, function name. Just like a procedure, how to create in last session, I told you create procedure, procedure. As a beginner end, it is common. But what is the extra thing that you have to remember while working with scalar functions is that is returns is must. Return statement should be there. See the second statement returns a decimal 10 comma 2. It should return decimal point value. That is what you have to remember while working with the what you call user defined functions. Okay. So what are we doing? We will pass salary. You have to return me 10% bonus. What is the 10% value? Okay. If I give a 20,000 rupees salary as a parameter, if I pass it, you have to give me what you call 10% on 20,000 or whatever amount I'm giving. That is the way we need to utilize this. Okay. So create function, function name, get bonus, at salary. We know at salary is a variable in T-SQL. Space data type decimal 10 comma 2 or you can use money. Returns decimal, you have to return this type of value. Returns money or returns integer, returns varchar of 30. Like that you can write it, guys. The data type, return space data type. Suppose if you are returning a table, return space table, like that you can. Table means multiple rows. We will see that in upcoming examples. Okay. And as a begin and end is common. And inside begin and end, what should you return? Return is mandatory here. I need to return at the salary, whatever salary value you are passing in a variable into 10%, 0.10. That is the value I'm going to return from this function. Okay, this is the way to create a scalar function, guys. Create a scalar function means user defined function. We are creating. Okay, done. What next? After creating a function, you have to call it. So as we have seen, previously, we created first stored procedure. After that, we were calling it with execute statement, exec space, stored procedure name, right? But here you have to use select statement, guys. Okay, select statement. Yeah, and at the time of writing this one, right, you may be returning, guys, you may be creating create function dbo dot get bonus, like that you need to write. Dbo is the owner, database owner. Dbo dot means database owner. Schema name actually that you need to give as a default thing if it is not showing, if it is showing any error. Now, how to call this function that we have created so far, get bonus function, how to call? You have to use select statement. Select a name comma salary. Name and salary is from your table, whatever employees table is there, column names. You can give ID also, can give it if you want to give. Select ID comma name comma salary, or only name and salary is enough, means you can specify select name comma salary comma. You are mentioning the function name here, dbo dot get bonus, or only get bonus is okay. If it is giving any error, please add this dbo dot. Dbo is the schema default owner name, database owner. DBO is by default given, that you need to give. So this is alias name as bonus, something like that. From which table? Employees table. So why are we writing like this? Because we are calling this get bonus function for every row of the table. Every row of the table. For every row, I want to calculate the bonus. That is why I kept inside my select query. Or only I want to calculate, sir, for a single value, I will pass 20,000, something like that. Then select dbo.get bonus brackets, you can pass 20,000 as bonus. Like that you can call it. You'll get only one value. But no. Real time, how do we use this function? This is the way we are going to call it. Is it clear, everybody? Yeah, let's do it practically, guys. Okay. Let us switch to our SSMS and try to create this function and call it. Okay. Yeah. Let's move to our SSMS. Yeah. So we'll go to our database. TSQL DB, whatever is already there, we'll use that existing database, connect, and then click on new query. So I'm writing here, what is this? We are working with user defined functions. Okay, so use tsql db. See guys, you need to select it and press enter, and then select the this one and press F5. So we entered into the tsql db. I want to see the tables available. SP underscore tables. Let's run it and see. Yes, we have so many tables. Employees table is there here. Yeah, I can use magnifier to see the list of tables available. See guys, employees table, students table available. So I'm going to use this employees table. So what I'm writing here, select a star from employees. Okay, press F5. Yes, I got the records from the table. Okay, that's fine. I want to see the functions available in this database called tsql-db. You can expand it. Go to tsql-db. You can see here programmability, and here you will be finding the second folder called functions. Of course, see guys, table valued, scalar valued, aggregate, something like that. So I don't have any any functions available. Aggregate means predefined available. You might be watching right now. We don't have any aggregate. Also system functions, these are all predefined actually. In this, you will find all these predefined functions list. So we should see only these three areas: table valued, scalar valued, aggregate functions. Now we will create a function so that that will be available in this object explorer. Okay. So first, what are we doing? Creating a scalar function. What is the purpose of it? To calculate bonus of employee. How to create. Okay, let's go ahead with the same example what we have seen so far. So create function keyword guys, function name. Okay, dbo dot get bonus, like that you give it, or directly you can give get bonus function. But remember, you have to use dbo dot like that at the time of calling bonus. And then at the salary is my variable name parameter that I'm passing. And then like money, or you can use decimal type 10 comma 2, 10 total digits, out of which 2 are decimal places. And then must thing is returns. Okay, return space. What are we returning? We are returning same thing, decimal value we need to return. Okay, as beginner end. This is common, right? Even we have seen the same thing for our stored procedure as well, right? Same way I'm writing it. Now what should I return? I need to return the salary into 10%. So at salary is the parameter whatever user is passing, for that into 0.10, that is 10%. Okay. Yeah. So you can create a function like this. So I think it is showing syntax error. Syntax create function. dbo dot. Okay. Okay, let us execute. It will show error like that. No issues. Press F5. Yes, created function successfully. After that, what to do? You need to call it. How to call it? You have to use executing or calling our function. Calling get bonus function. How to call it? Using select statement. Select a dbo dot. See guys, get bonus. You need to pass some value like as I said you 20,000. Okay. Syntax we are okay. You need to give some brackets. Yeah, we got it. Okay, as bonus, something like that you can give it. This is as bonus is alias name. So we are calling it, we got press F5 bonus 2000 rupees out of 20,000. This is the simple way to call your function. But this is not the actual intention of, what you call calling our function. Okay, this is the simple way to call a function. But the main intention of creating function and calling is, as I said, your real-time usage is you should work these database objects with your tables, guys. That is the actual way of utilizing all these, stored procedures and functions. So let us go for our table, and we are going to combine this function get bonus along with our employees table. How to call? Let's say select star from employees. Okay. Yeah, we have ID, name, and salary, but we don't have bonus column. Bonus column we never add actually. We just calculate the bonus for every employee. As I said, you government, I mean, our company has decided to give 10% bonus on Dasra or Diwali. In that case, what they were going to do is they are going to add 10% of a bonus for every employee on his or her salary, right? In that case, you can make use of our bonus function. Okay, so how to do that? So I want to display the name of the employee. Select a name, how many columns you want to get, salary, and then bonus. Bonus means dbo dot get bonus. That is the function I'm calling. And then what is the column name? I have to pass as a parameter salary. Okay, that we need to pass as a parameter. Salary you should pass as parameter. As bonus. Okay, alias name. From which table? From employees table. This is the way to call your function in real-time application. Okay, so this is what calling a function uh, in a select query from a table. Okay, so this is the best example to explain. If they ask you what is a function, tell me some example, real-time example, which you have to say this. Suppose we have employee table in which we have employee ID, name and salary columns where we need to calculate bonus on behalf of a festival like Diwali or something. 10% bonus we need to display to every employee or calculate bonus to every employee. In that situation, we need to create a function called get bonus. First, we will create a function. After that, we will call it through select query. Along with the name and salary or ID columns, we are also calling a function called get bonus here, where we are passing salary as a parameter to the function. That will return a value that we are displaying here. See guys, 1,20,000, 10%, 12,000, 60,000, 10%, 6,000, 20,000, 2,000, 3,000, 15,000. Okay, for 4,600. Like that, we are calculating bonus for each and every employee using our own function called get bonus. Is it clear, everybody? Functions concept is clear. Hello, guys, are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the differences between stored procedure and function you need to remember. So stored procedure is for executing business logic and it never returns a value. But whereas a function must return a value, and at the time of executing a stored procedure, we have to use execute and procedure name. But here you have to pass, you have to use select query, select statement. Inside that, you need to call this function called whatever function you have created so far that you can call it. And then, as I said, you different types of functions, right? The first one is scalar functions, whatever we have done so far. Okay. Now we are moving to the next category called what I call table valued functions. How to return a complete table. Table means a set of rows from a function. Okay, that is said to be table valued functions. Yeah, the second category is inline table valued function. So what is this? So we are creating a function which is said to be get employees by department. Actually, we don't have department ID column in this table, so you can add it. And then if you want to uh, display the employees, I mean set of employees I want to display, then you can pass this what you call uh, function parameter you are passing, department ID you are passing as parameter. But this time we are not returning a single value, guys. We are returning the whole table, that is that we returns table. So what we are passing is your wish, guys. You need not pass always department ID, you can pass salary also. And that salary condition you are mentioning in where clause inside the return statement. Okay, you can see here create function get employees by department or get employees by salary, something like that. You can give it at department ID or at salary, a decimal 10 comma 2 you can give it returns table. So previously we were saying returns decimal of 10 comma 2 or decimal returns integer, like that you can write it. But this time I'm mentioning table. That means we are returning group of rows. So as return, and then you write whatever select query you want to write, because since we are returning a table, right, you have to use select query inside the return statement. That is the important thing that we need to remember while working with the inline table valued functions. Shortcut ITVF, like that people will say. That is the way to create a function. So what are we writing inside return here? Return bracket open close semicolon, guys. Select employee ID name. I mean here we have ID, right? Column select ID name comma salary from employees. Where if you give here at a salary decimal 10 comma 2, where salary at salary is greater than something like that, you can give it. Or where salary is greater than equal to or greater than or equal to whatever at salary, like that you can give it. So in that way, you are creating a table valued function. Let us see how to call it. So as we have seen so far, select star from. Why are we saying star from here? Because as we know that our table valued function is going to return a table, means group of rows, you have to use star here. Of course, it might be returning a single row, guys, but still you have to use star here. Select star from your function name with parameter, whatever. I mean, department ID 2 here he is passing. Instead of that, you can pass your salary if you are giving salary as a condition. DBO is schema name that you need to remember. Okay, so these are the points we need to remember while working with table valued functions. Let us do it practically now. Switch to our SSMS. So we are creating a table valued function now. Valued function. Okay, or inline table valued function. Inline table value function. Only one select query will be there inside this. So first we need to write a create function name. So you can give dpo dot like that, or directly you can give get salary, uh, get employee, get high sal employees, like that I'm giving. And then what is meant by high salary? Directly you can call the function, or you can pass get employees by sal, like that. Okay, like that I'm giving. And then at the sal is my variable or salary I'm giving, which is said to be decimal of 10 comma 2 I'm giving as a data type. Returns is mandatory. Returns table this time as begin and is common, and in between this you are returning a select query, guys. So previously we were not returning, we are returning directly, right? But this time, so you have to use begin end is not required actually, as return bracket open close in between you are writing selector. Selector, okay. Name, I mean, of course you can write ID also, guys. ID name, salary from employees. Employees is my table name, okay. Where salary, salary is the column name, right? Salary is greater than or equal to, it's your wish, greater than or equal to, or only greater than, it's your wish, at the salary that the user is fixing. Okay. So guys, is it okay? Let us create a function now. Execute. Yes, function created successfully. How to call this function? Let us see this. So this time calling inline table valued function. How to call it? Select star because it is going to return multiple rows, right? Select star from dbo dot get employees by salary brackets. You are passing 50,000 like that. I'm giving. What is my intention is greater than equal to 50,000. How many employees salaries are there? Those employees list I wanted to display. Guys, you can see here we have three records which are having salary greater than 50,000, Ram, Krish and Surya. So that is the way you can use this inline table valued function, which is returning a set of rows from a table. Okay. So that is the difference, guys. Inline table valued function creation and calling. So is it clear, everybody? Okay. So now let's go to the third category, that is said to be multi-table valued function. Okay. Multi-valued function, which is nothing but returning or having multiple rows select statements. You are writing multiple select statements inside this. Okay. Uh, you can see here creating multi-statement table valued function. So yeah, get high salary employees, minimum salary. Yeah, this is the example I used it for this one. Okay. So returns result at result table. I'm taking employee ID. We are inserting and we are displaying that record itself. Okay. Returns result table, and you have to mention the table here: employee ID, integer, name, varchar of 100, salary. Like that. We need to mention decimal, all the data types for this table structure. Also, we are mentioning here. Okay. As beginner and in between insert into at result. This is the temporary table that I'm creating. Into this first, I'm inserting into result table where we are selecting this from our physical table. So select employee ID, name and salary from employees where salary greater than minimum salary. Yeah. Whatever example I have done just now, same thing using different way. That is a multi-statement valued function. Okay. So this you can try, guys. And how to call it? Select star from dbo dot get high salary employees of 6,000 like that I have given, or 60,000, whatever you enter, this will be executed. So same like inline table valued, but you will be having multiple statements where you might be having a temporary table structure we created. How you want to return? First returns at result. Result is a variable. What type of variable is this? Table type of variable. What is the table structure that we have to mention here? This is the physical table, guys, but this is our virtual table that you need to mention. The table columns what you want to have: emp id, emp name, or emp salary. Here the physical table contains employee id, name and salary. This is the virtual table that you need to mention. So that is the way to work with the multi statement table valued function. Just go through this and do it. And any queries are there or other examples you can practice. And tasks that you can try is the minimum salary. I mean, department. Okay, whatever I gave you in the question. Okay, like tasks I'm giving here. You need to try this. So coming to scalar functions, what you need to try is create a function or UDF. Function means UDF, user defined function, to return area of circle. Okay, area of circle means just you need to take radius from user and you need to return pi r square value. Okay. R for radius you are taking. Pi r square means you need to use pi function. You can call pi function, or directly you can write 3.142 and r into r means pi r square will come, that you need to return. Okay. So single and another scalar valued example is function to return pi r square, guys. Simple interest. PTR by 100, sorry. Simple interest. PTR by 100. This you need to try. Okay. Next one is, as I said, you create a function. First, you add department ID column to this. Uh, okay, add a new column called DEPT ID, department ID to employees table. Okay, how to add a new column to employees table, guys? In the existing table. How to add a new column, guys? I mean, an extra column. How to add?
Alter your CSV column access.
Yeah, very good. Alter table, table name, add column, column name and data type you need to mention. You do it with that. Department IDs, just you add 10, 20, 30 like that. Integer column, integer data type you need to take. After updating all the rows from the table, then you create a stored procedure, sorry, function. Create a function which returns all the employees who belongs to the specific department, given department. Okay, ID. Just like stored procedure we wrote it, right? Same way we are writing a function, but this time you need to use a table value, inline table value. Okay. Yeah. Displays all employees whose salary is less than 50K. Okay, 50,000. That you need to try. Okay, these are the 5 tasks you need to try, guys. Okay, so let me copy paste all this in the notes and I'll share. Okay, just go through this and practice. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, let me stop.
ఆ definition PPT కూడా send చేస్తాను.